Welcome back to the lab, folks. So we're going to continue on with our both Baofeng radio testing here. The unboxing video has gone over like a lead balloon, but anyway, I'll wrap this up today with what we're going to do. So apparently this is not very popular amongst my audience, but so what we're going to do is going to look and see if these put out the right kind of power. So first we're going to test them on a dummy load with this standing wave ratio meter and power meter. So we can see the last test I did is 4.48. That's pretty good. You can see it's supposed to be a 5-watt radio. And I'm going to look at both radios, and I'm going to look at both radios with the stock antenna. This is the antenna for the 5R, and this is the antenna for the 5RH. And then we'll briefly look at one or maybe both of them with this. Then what I want to look at is what kind of signal they're putting out. So we'll do that in two ways. First of all, I'll use the spectrum analyzer, and we'll use the antenna on it, and we'll look at the kind of information we're receiving. So actually what is being transmitted out of the device and being received by another device as far as the spectrum is concerned. And then I'm just going to quickly hook it up to an oscilloscope with this contraption here. This is going to put a little bit of an odd load on it, but it shouldn't be too bad other than it's fairly high capacitance. So especially at the 440 megahertz, it's going to bring the amplitude of the signal down quite a bit. But it should give us an idea of what the waveform looks like, and that should kind of agree with what we see over here as far as harmonics are concerned. So let's get right to it. So as far as testing the frequency is concerned, this is a 2-band radio, and it's got the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands, and these frequencies 146 and 435 are kind of right in the middle of those bands. So they're the frequencies I'm going to check it out at. So let's first go with 146 megahertz here. We'll see what kind of power it's putting out. I hope you guys can see that well. I don't want it to, it's pretty glary, and I need to get the focus. Okay, so here we go. So that's 5.45 watts out of a 5-watt radio. So that's pretty good, but that's only into a dummy load. So this is what it would do in a perfect situation. It gives an idea of what this thing is actually capable of if you put an ideal antenna on it. Okay, let's try it at 435. It's a little bit lower in power by about 0.6 watts. I call that pretty good. Okay, turn it back on. First we'll try it at 435. Standing wave ratio is about 2. Okay, now we'll try it at the 2 meter band. And that's back down to something normal. Very nice standing wave ratio. That's pretty good. Let's try it out with this big antenna here. Okay, 2 meter band. Standing wave ratio is not quite as nice though, about 2. 70 centimeter band, and a really nice standing wave ratio, about 1.3, 1.4. All right, let's try this other beast over here. Okay, let's try this one out on the dummy load initially. So let's try it out at 2 centimeter band, or 2 meter band I should say. 8 watts. It's supposed to be a 10-watt radio, but I've heard other people advertise it as a 7-watt radio, so I'm not quite sure about the specifications on this, but we got about 8 watts out of it. So now let's try that. Let's try that in the middle of the 1.5 meter band. Six watts. Okay, 6.3 watts. And now let's try it in the 70 centimeter band. 8.2 watts. All right, let's try it now with the stock antenna. Okay, let's look at the standing wave ratio here with the stock antenna and the 70 centimeter band. Now we can ignore the wattages, they're only valid with the 50 ohm load. So standing wave ratio, yeah, it's not great, 1.8. It's not absolutely horrible, but it's not great. Okay, let's try the 1.25 meter band. That antenna is no good for this band at all. Now let's try 70 centimeter band. Okay, let's look at the other antenna. You have to excuse me, I'm not a radio guy. If you're a radio guy, please put it down in the comments what it is I'm doing wrong here, because these seems like strange results. Okay, we'll try this at 2 meter band. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, let's try the 70 centimeter band. Well, that's really good. Let's try it at the other band. 1.25 meter band. It's making my amplifier over there complain. Okay. So yeah, these antennas aren't great. Let's see what they look like on the spectrum analyzer. We'll just use the stock antenna. Okay, I've got this all set up, and it should work to show us at least the first harmonic as well as the principal frequency. And we'll try the little radio first. So I'm going to try it first at the 70 centimeter band. That's the one I'm most interested in. So let's see what happens here. Give the little spectrum analyzer time to average out. So I'll transmit now. Well, that looks clean as a whistle. So the second harmonic is down at about 60 dB down from the fundamental, which is very nice and clean. Okay, well, let's try it now at 2 meter band. So we've got the second harmonic is down a 45 dB, and other harmonics are not really playing in the game at all. So that's a nice and clean transmission on both, but there is some harmonic distortion in the 2 meter band. Okay, now we're going to try this radio here, and first we'll fire it up. Looks like it's on the 70 centimeter band. Now it looks just as clean as the other radio. But yeah, it's a little bit of the second harmonic there, but not much. It's certainly good enough. And now let's try it also at the 2 meter band. Now that's a dirty one. That I think that wouldn't pass muster with the authorities. So this radio is basically illegal in the 2 meter band. All right, let's throw them up on the scope briefly and have a look at them there. Okay, we're all set to go here on the 2 meter band. Let's see what comes up on the scope. Oh boy, that started off nice and then got ugly. I'm not sure why that happened. Let's see if I put on the antenna here. Okay, let's try it here with its stock antenna. Not great. Okay, let's try the 70 centimeter band. That looks like a much nicer sine wave there, for sure. Level seems to be jumping around a bit, but I don't know, it could be one of the connections in here. But I just wanted to have an idea of what the waveforms look like. Let's move it over to the bigger radio. Okay, so what are we at here? We're on, okay, we're here at the 2 meter band. Let's see what the signal looks like. Almost exactly like the smaller radio. Oh, not great. And let's try now at the 70 centimeter band. That's a much nicer sine wave. Okay, so what I did here is I took one of them apart and have a look inside, see how they're made. and they seem to be very well put together. I mean, I can't see anything I would consider to be awful about the construction of these things. Beautiful gold-plated PCB, all fine connectors, just what you'd like to see. And look at these ones are hand soldered. This is hand soldered. Fair enough. It's got a couple little adjustment capacitors there on the back. Don't want to fiddle with them. And it looks like the main processor here. I don't know what usually this. This looks like the RF section here because they have the little heat pads that go down to the heatsink portion of it. The chassis are against these two chips here, so they must be producing the RF. And you have a little rotary encoder there, I'm guessing. Be the audio section. Yeah, and that's where the speaker attaches to there. And I don't know what this would be. Your guess is as good as mine on that. But one thing I did want to show you here, I noticed, is that the antenna socket or plug or jack is securely mounted into this aluminum chassis here. So yeah, that's not going to be damaged if you want to tighten anything down on that over and over again. So that's very sturdily made. And this is just a film or membrane type keyboard here. The microphone is there, status LED there, and this is the rubber, little chuckly rubber things for the. That's it, and then the battery would go on the back. Here's the speaker right there. Now I'm not going to do it in real time, but I'll put a montage at the end showing me putting this back together to finish up the video. Other than that, that's all I have today for you folks. Thanks for coming out. And not sure why, but the popularity of this series is very, very low. So we won't do that anymore. All right. See you in the next one. In the meantime, do some electronics. Bye-bye.
Channel mode 001.
Over and out.